So it's nothing new that Hollywood attempts to write their own progressive views into film, television scripts in order to very slowly, very incrementally convince the public that either being against the Second Amendment or voting far left is exactly what their favorite television characters would do, and so should they. Now, gun control, that is one of their favorite topics to use for this purpose. Now, usually it's in a show or movie that's more than happy to get viewers excited about the use of weapons for self-defense to take down the bad guys. But then they always try to bring it back with some throw-in lines about how it's all super dangerous and no one except law enforcement should have guns. I mean, I have some examples for you. Watch this.
You think you're going to be a heck of a sheriff one day, just like your dad, huh?
I'm not a big fan of guns.
Oh.
I used to work with the police. We got training. Why'd you do that? I hate guns. Why would someone who hates guns work for the police? Well, I didn't hate them when I got started, but then my sister and niece got killed by one. You sure about this no guns thing?
Guys won't have it either. Just outside with you.
I want to hear more about what Tim does for a living. I told you. I make security products.
Handguns. You make the cheapest handguns on the market today.
But poor cities with guns that have no value to anyone but criminals. Your sales drive up homicide rates.
You profit off misery. That's blood money, Tim.
What the hell is this? It isn't against the law to sell guns.
No, it isn't. In fact, the law protects gun makers like you from being sued.
Is that why you brought me here, to insult me?
We all brought you here, not to insult you, to punish you.
I'm not sure who gets convinced to give up their natural rights just because a character in NBC's Taken says that gun-free zones work, but apparently Hollywood thinks so. They think it works, so they keep trying. It reminds me of this one scene from the Ozarks, right? I was like super excited. It's where my family's from. I'm like, this show's going to be pretty cool. Jason Bateman's in it. I mean, come on, Arrested Development. There was one scene in the first season where this teenager goes into a store to buy a firearm, and the dude behind the counter is like, well, how many clips you want? I think he was buying a shotgun even. It's like, whoa, you want to get a clip? And just using the dumbest language I've ever heard. And I'm sitting there watching that like, you know what? First off, you ain't from the Ozarks because there's nobody down there that would use that language because people are hunters and they know their firearms and they know they know the terminology. And secondly, like if you want to make it realistic, like at least do people the service of not being goofy about it and not like playing out these like dumb disproven tropes about and these prejudiced perspectives about what you think firearm owners are like or how purchases go or how you believe it's so easy to purchase a firearm. I mean, it's silly. John Lott is the president of the Crime and Prevention Research Center. He wrote an article all about this over at Town Hall covering this very bizarre, not really for Hollywood, phenomena in Hollywood. And he joins me now. John, good to see you. Thank you for being here. So this is, I mean, it's almost, I really want to enjoy shows and I try not to let, you know, my politics prevent me from enjoying a program. But sometimes you get stuff like this that just, you know, pops into it and it just completely ruins my suspension of disbelief. And it's just so overt. It's not entertaining, but this is becoming more and more commonplace. Talk to us about this.
Right. I mean, you just had a few of the clips that we've put together on this. I mean, as you say, it's very heavy-handed. I mean, it's obvious they have a political agenda. They really don't care about the facts that are here, or, you know, they care about what they perceive of as the facts. And unfortunately, I think a lot of the misinformation that they give out actually endangers people's lives. You know, and you know, I hope, but I mean, we've just gone through in the section we have there just a few of the shows. It covers everything about whether it makes sense. You know, there's one recent show we don't talk about from the History Channel dealing with Navy SEALs. It's called The Six. And you have a family that's being threatened by Muslim terrorists. And the Navy SEAL convinces his wife, or tries to convince his wife, that she doesn't really want to have a gun to protect the family when he's out on missions because unless she's kind of the expert level that he is, there's really no training that he could give her so that she would be safe having a gun in the home.
That's literally everything opposite to every reality I've ever experienced with training and also Navy SEALs and Navy SEALs' wives.
Right. Well, I mean, the thing is, the wife is a perfect example of somebody who actually benefits a lot from having a gun. Women are relatively weaker physically, and I'm not sure what else they want the family to do there if, God forbid, they would be a victim of a terrorist type attack.
Yeah, and that's like an actual real thing as well, because just a couple of years ago it came out that there was a hit list. ISIS had a hit list of veterans, and not just veterans, but operators as well, and trying to get everyone's address and towns and figure out where they live. So that was an actual real thing. That was a real concern that people had. How does this change?
I don't know. I mean, I guess if people stop watching those types of shows, maybe it...
Oh, I think we just lost John. Well, yeah, how does it change? Maybe perhaps it's not watching the shows, or maybe perhaps mocking when they go completely heavy-handed and it's totally over the top. And, you have, like, I mean, who, by the way, who honestly believes a Navy SEAL is going to tell his wife, well, when I'm over on missions, I don't want you to have a gun because you don't have the same level of training as I have, and just not going to be able to help you with... Who would ever say that? And what woman who's married to a SEAL would even tolerate such a thing like that? We want to talk about sexism. That's some heavy-handed sexism. Sorry, lady, you're too dumb to be able to defend your family when your husband's gone. The hell kind of lesson is that? That absolutely does endanger lives. It endangers lives, and it perpetuates the anti-Me Too ideology that is so pervasive in Hollywood. I think we got John back. Last quick question, because we're short on time right now. But John, so I mean, are there any shows that you do like? I know you're a harsh critic. Are there shows that you do like that do actually talk about guns in a realistic fashion?
I'm not really sure. Look, I don't watch a lot of TV. We collect these types of things in part because people go and write us and tell us about them. We started to collect them for a while, and then it kind of snowballed with people sending us emails to alert us to these things. But unfortunately, at least in terms of, NBC, CBS, ABC, it's not really obvious that there are any good shows that they have. I mean, we can go through lots of shows. Law and Order may be about the worst that you have. They're constantly pushing these myths about how gun registration helps them solve crimes. I'm sure they may be innocent in some of these cases, that they just want a simple, convenient tool to make the show shorter, to get it in the hour. But it still provides misleading information.
Yeah, absolutely. John Lott, always so good to talk with you, John. Thank you so much. Good
Thank you. Good to see you.